Alright, for those of you who don't want to read, I'll try to provide a synopsis of what's going on in the video. So our firefighter here is attaching the extra sections of 2.5-inch hose together that we're going to need to get from the floor below the fire down to the ground floor. So for our operation, we are on the 8th floor, which means we're going to need 2 sections of hose, giving us 100 feet. Right now he's attaching a rope as a tag line. He's using a clove hitch there with a safety. He's attaching that rope as a tag line to get it down, guide the hose down through the center well if you have kind of a confined space, as we do in this video, where you're trying to lower the hose. Center well is not the only option. If you are in a building without a center area like that in the stairwell to lower it, an exterior window works. Interior window can work if it's in over a courtyard or arboretum, or in a parking garage. An easy way to lower down hose. So now he's lowering the hose down only. He already lowered the tag line. At the topmost suspended coupling, he stops and he's going to attach a second rope. Good rope for this would be your personal search rope that's on all of our SCBAs. The first rope, you could use the 200-foot search rope that's on all the ladders. The purpose of this rope here is to take some of the weight off of the hose line. If this isn't done, a kink is going to develop right at the top where that hose line crosses over that top railing where our firefighter is operating right here. And if this is hard to understand, it's going to be much easier to see when we get our finished product at the end. So now the firefighter is going to be dropping both the hose and now the personal search rope, the 50-foot section of rope. Here's a shot of the driver down on the ground floor guiding that tag line and then pulling the hose in until we've pulled all 100 feet of hose. Here's his 20-foot extra section, 20 feet or so. He's attaching it to 3-inch coming directly off of the engine. So when the hose is fully deployed over the railing, the firefighter is going to tie off that 50-foot section of rope. Again, this is just going to support that topmost coupling so a kink doesn't develop right where that hose is going over the railing. So here he used a tensionless hitch. Clove hitch would have worked just fine. He's going to further tie off the hose, maybe with a personal section of webbing, just girth hitching it around the hose and then attaching it to an anchor, whether it's another railing or maybe the standpipe, which we've determined is inoperable. This supports that last section of hose, the top part. So now he's going to attach a Y or a 2.5-inch gate valve, something to give him positive control of water flow right there at the floor below the fire, and then also the pressure gauge so he can set his pressure just like he was operating at a standpipe, setting his pressure to fire attack cruise. So here's a shot of that topmost suspended coupling before it gets charged. You can see a bow coming out. That's what you want to see. That hose is gonna, that rope is going to be supporting all the weight below that bow, and then the last 50-foot section is going to be supported by that section of webbing. So now the driver charges the hose line from the engine. After it's fully charged, here's another dark shot of that bow. It's expanded now because we've charged the hose, and it doesn't always have to be this big, but you want that rope holding the weight. So again, a kink does not develop at the top. So after that, the hose kind of bows out and then continues going up the last 50 feet. So here's the top, and this is where the kink is going to develop if you don't have that last 50-foot section of rope. Here's our finished product. We got our Y with a pressure gauge, giving us positive pressure control right at the floor below the fire.